Hi there. Have you heard terms like microbiome and probiotics and prebiotics and dysbiosis? These are kind of leaky gut. There's a lot of terms around this subject that are kind of just being thrown out there. They're buzzwords now in the media, in magazines, and in medical literature. And um, I wanted to talk about it a little bit and kind of help you understand because I think there's a lot of people who hear these words but don't really completely understand what it means and how it can truly impact their health and wellness. Um, and so I wanted to kind of define some of these terms. So it's interesting because as humans, we actually have less human DNA than we have microbial DNA. So there's some people who will say, "Hey, are we even human?" Or we more of a microbe, right? Because we have a percentage a lot higher of microbial DNA than we have human DNA. And what are microbes? Microbes are just little bugs, bacteria, fungus, viruses, little bugs that live on us and in us. And we live in a symbiotic relationship. This human body that we have is actually a colony. We ourselves, one individual human being is actually a colony, a huge colony of symbiotic organisms working together. And our health, our human health, is impacted by the microbiome that lives on us and in us, and vice versa. So we have little bugs that live on our skin. They live inside of our intestines and on our mucous membranes. And over millennia of our evolution as humans and our development as humans, we developed and created together a symbiotic relationship that created health and wellness, improved health and wellness. So when our microbiome, which is just the name for all that colony of bugs inside of our gut or on our skin or our mucous membranes, when our microbiome is balanced and healthy, we humans are healthier because we feed them by eating food, and that feeds these little bugs in our gut. And then the little bugs in our gut use that and their biochemical processes and what they release as part of their byproducts of their biochemistry. Their byproducts are often something that we need. A perfect example would be vitamin K2. So vitamin K2 is something that we need to have along with vitamin D in order for our bodies to direct calcium into the right places instead of laying calcium in our arteries and veins and joints where it can cause pain, stroke, and heart attack. Vitamin K helps us to put calcium into the bone where it belongs alongside vitamin D. So those two vitamins work together. However, we cannot create vitamin K2 ourselves, humans. We eat in our diet through the vegetables and foods that we eat. We eat K1, which is a different vitamin, and the microbes in our gut actually turn K1 into K2, and then we absorb that. So we feed that microbiome, those little bugs that actually do this work for us, and they feed us. And so that's a very simple single biochemistry example of how this goes. But understand that there are hundreds and thousands of interactions between what we eat and how healthy we are as humans and the health of our microbiome. And it's a feed forward and feed backward system. And so when we become imbalanced and when our microbiome is either overrun by bad bacteria species or ones that aren't supposed to be growing inside of us, or even if just the good bacteria are out of balance or there aren't enough of them at all, so we don't have enough of them, all of those situations are capable of creating disease and illness and symptoms in us humans, and we humans. And so keeping our microbiome healthy becomes a very big part of keeping us healthy. And it really is amazing because in dysbiosis, so the definition of dysbiosis is whenever the microbiome is completely out of whack. And it creates a scenario where you have leaky gut syndrome. And what is leaky gut syndrome? So another one of those terms that's being thrown out there. What is leaky gut syndrome? That is, so the lining of our intestine is much like our skin on our body. It's a protective barrier, but it's also an assimilation organ. So the cells of our skin um, absorb whatever we put on it, and it is absorbed through pores and through specific cellular processes. That's normal and supposed to happen. And our skin is actually also excretory organ. So we actually use it to excrete toxins when we sweat, for instance. And a lot of people are aware of that when you think about going into a infrared sauna or a spa or a hot tub, whirlpool kind of situation where you're sweating or exercise. You're releasing toxins through your sweat, through your pores, through your skin. That's an excretory function. Same thing with the lining of our gut. If you think about our bodies is actually kind of like being a tube, and the gut is the center, and this is my skin, and the rest of me is here. It's so we have skin lining that gut lining, and those cells of the gut are kind of stuck together, super tight together when they're healthy. And this space between the cells should be almost minuscule, right? And this area between right below these thumbs is called the tight junction. And it's called the tight junction on purpose because it's supposed to be tightly held together. But what happens is when we have dysbiosis or our microbiome is off balance, or food allergies can cause it too, can be part of the problem. But regardless, when those things happen, we develop inflammation in the gut, and then these cells, they start to separate. They start to pull apart. And now, where before, certain proteins couldn't get through without going through the correct channels, the correct lane, the right cellular processes, now all of a sudden, all of these proteins that aren't supposed to get across into our body can get across. Now they can get through this tunnel. And now our body says, oh my God, what are these proteins that are in here? And begins to have an immune reaction to those proteins. And now we develop immune problems. We develop inflammation inside of our bodies based on this immune response to a protein that should never have been able to get across into our body, but now is there and our body's reacting to it. And so that is how we develop illness. Now we have systemic inflammation. And it's well known now that systemic inflammation is a contributing factor to cardiovascular disease, the development of diabetes, heart attack, stroke, among a lot of other things. It's also contributes to this whole process contributes to the development of autoimmunity and seasonal allergies, where so many of us feel like we've had seasonal allergies for so long, it's just normal to be on, an inhaled steroid or antihistamines, and that's not normal. It's not normal, and it's not the pollen's fault. In all honesty, you may have some allergies or some reactions to the pollen, but the truth is, if everything is completely healthy, you should never have a reaction that is so severe that you have to be on medications for it. And if you are, then there is likely some of this other issue going on. And if we can settle those things down, then you can see how we can make your symptoms better. We can reverse those and get you off those medications and get you feeling better. And so this is how dysbiosis, leaky gut, an imbalanced microbiome, where all of this kind of comes into play. And in functional medicine, this is where where at least as a functional medicine practitioner, this is where we start. We like to start by healing the gut. For most people, that's where the issue is. Not everybody, everyone is different. But I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about why and how something so simple as eating a fast food burger, or as eating out at restaurants 3 times a week, even if they're amazing restaurants and the food is amazing, you are not getting most likely the quality ingredients that you need to stay healthy or keep your microbiome healthy. Or for instance, you get maybe you get sick from a cold or something that goes around, and you take an antibiotic. Well, antibiotics completely change in one prescription will change the microbiome inside of your gut, and now you have to work to fix it, and you have to get rid of that inflammation. You have to recreate your microbiome balance. So you can see where a lot of how we have practiced medicine standardly becomes an issue when we talk about chronic disease and when we talk about overall health and wellness for, over the long period, over the long haul. Longevity. When we talk about longevity, we really need to get down to the nuts and bolts of the biochemistry, and we need to fix our gut. So I hope that this has been pretty helpful. My name is Dr. Campbell, Dr. Christina Campbell. I am a functional medicine physician, and I am also board certified in emergency medicine. I've been practicing medicine for a little over 20 years, and I am passionate about helping people to reverse chronic disease, to improve their systems, improve their lives through the use of natural methods, and finding a higher energy, a happier, healthier life, passionate life, where we're just working better. So that's where my passion lies. And I would love it if you have some interest in this, or anything that I've said in this video sparks your interest. I would love to talk with you. Please, I will put a link in this video description that will allow you to give me a call and set up schedule a call with me. It's just a free call to say hello. And if you have some questions, or something that in this video I said something that kind of struck your interest and you wanted to talk about that, I'm just offering a free 15-minute call to just chat with me, and let's talk about it, and let's see if there's something that can be done to help you feel better and do better physically and mentally in your life. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like it, share it, and please schedule a call with me. Thanks.